Hey everyone, Emeka here from my self-publishing blueprint.com, and in this video I want to talk about how to use the Amazon's bestsellers list to your advantage. I've done quite a few videos where I talk about you do not want to be looking at the Amazon's bestsellers list for a niche idea if you're a brand new Kindle publisher. This is just going to set you up for failure because when you're new, there's no way you're going to compete with some of the top books on Amazon. It's impossible. Plus, you don't need to. There's so much more money to be made outside of the bestsellers list that your first couple books, you don't need to focus on making them a bestseller at all. But let's talk about now the scenario is you've published your first few books and now they're getting consistent sales. What can you do to help boost them up a whole nother level? This is where the Amazon bestsellers list is going to come into play. What I like to do is I'll go into my book and I'll see what categories Amazon's already had it listed on. Now, a quick note is you can manually add up to 10 categories, but Amazon, based on how customers purchase your book and others' books, they will start automatically placing you in categories as well. I'll see what relevant categories my book's on, and then I'll start looking at what are the top 50 books in that category, and how can I move my book from wherever it is into the top first page, I believe it's top 25, or the 25 to 50. The things that I like to look for are a number of things. One, of course, I look for what are the easiest categories I'm going to be able to get my book into that's going to help boost it up the ranking for the bestsellers list. Now, you do not want to do any shady tactics where you're like, let's say you have a book on crocheting and you have it in a category for gardening. That will actually end up hurting your book because it confuses Amazon's algorithm, and they say, I can't figure out how to categorize this book, so we're just not going to categorize it properly, and it ends up falling off. You want to make sure you're only categorizing your books in relevant categories. So once you're taking a look at what are some relevant categories, you want to look at the top selling books in that category and start paying attention to what patterns there are. For example, your cover or the other book's covers. What are the covers like? What type of font are they using? What type of pictures are they using? What colors are they using? What are the ones that are being purchased? Because remember, the very first thing that will determine whether or not somebody's going to purchase the book, it's the cover. You're probably going to notice these are not $5 crappy covers from Fiverr, right? That's what you get started with. But then you reinvest your profits into your book and you spend $20, $30, $40, $50 on a professional looking cover that's going to drive more sales to your book. You also want to pay attention to what's the description like for these top selling books. It's not inside this book you will learn, none of that complete kindergarten crap. You need a proper sales copy, a proper description that's going to captivate your readers, your potential readers, that's going to make them want to buy this book. Not that cookie cutter crap that everyone seems to do. No, that doesn't work anymore. You have to invest some time learning how to write a proper description. So look at the top selling books and learn what they're doing and then mimic it. You also, we talked about categories, we talked about cover. So going back to the cover, look at how the title's being placed. Is it at the top? Is it at the bottom of the color or the cover? Where's the author name? They're going to look a lot different than the cover you probably ended up starting with. Those are just some of the things that I look for when I'm investing in my books. You don't just, I think too many people are just, they publish the book, they leave it up there and then that's it. You have to understand what the top producers are doing. They reinvest their profits in the book. They make their book better, right? Version 2, version 3, version 4. They reinvest, make their book better because Amazon favors this for one. You get better reviews. Your book becomes longer, bigger. It's overall good practice. And I also take a look at the reviews, right? I look at what are the best reviews saying about this book? What do people love about my competitors' books? But then, more importantly, I look at what do people hate about my competitors' books, and I make sure that is not in my book. So the Amazon's bestsellers list, it's a valuable tool once your book is selling and you're making some money and you have some experience on how to read it and how to use it to your advantage. It is not somewhere you go to look for new niche ideas when you're a brand new publisher. You just don't have enough knowledge, you don't have enough experience to compete with the books on the bestsellers list quite yet. Hey, if this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're out there. If you want my 5-step blueprint on how to make your first $1,000 with Kindle Publishing, make sure you check out emekaossai.com/theblueprint. Link in the description for that, of course. And until next time, everyone, I'm Emeka. Take care.